7 footwear choices destroying balance. After 65, 3 safe swaps inside, falls drop, 74% fast. Sylvia reached for her coffee mug when her left foot suddenly slipped sideways. Her heart raced as she grabbed the counter, barely catching herself. This was the 3rd time this month she'd lost her balance doing simple tasks. Her daughter kept asking if she was okay, and honestly, she wasn't sure anymore. The fear of falling had started creeping into every movement. What Sylvia didn't realize was that her favorite pair of shoes, the ones she wore every day because they were so comfortable, were actually betraying her balance with every step. The shocking part? Most people have no idea their shoes are the problem until it's too late. If you've noticed your balance isn't what it used to be, your footwear might be silently stealing your stability right now. The shoes sitting in your closet right now could be the difference between staying independent and ending up in a hospital bed. After 65, your body changes in ways that make certain footwear absolutely dangerous, even if you've worn them safely for decades. Today, I'm walking you through the 7 footwear choices that are destroying your balance and dramatically increasing your fall risk. These aren't obscure specialty shoes. These are everyday options you probably own right now, and each one creates specific hazards for aging feet and ankles. But here's the good news. I'm also revealing 3 safe swap alternatives that podiatrists and physical therapists specifically recommend for seniors. These aren't expensive orthopedic shoes that look medical. These are practical, accessible options that reduce fall risk by 74%, according to recent studies. You'll discover exactly what features to look for, what to avoid, and why the shoes you think are helping might actually be hurting. By the end of this video, you'll know how to protect yourself with simple changes you can make today. Most people blame their age when balance starts failing, but the real culprit is often hiding right at the bottom of your closet. Your footwear collection that served you perfectly well in your 40s and 50s has now become a silent threat to your safety. Here's what changes after 65 that makes your shoe choices absolutely critical. Your proprioception, that's your body's ability to sense where your feet are in space, naturally declines with age. The nerve endings in your feet that once sent rapid-fire signals to your brain about ground texture, foot position and weight distribution start working slower. Your reaction time to correct a stumble drops by nearly 40%. Your ankle flexibility decreases, making it harder to recover from an unexpected shift in weight. The padding in your feet thins out, reducing your natural shock absorption. These aren't signs of weakness. They're normal physiological changes that happen to everyone. But here's what most people miss. The wrong shoes amplify every single one of these age-related changes. Footwear. Mistake number 1. Backless shoes and slippers. Slip-on shoes, mules and backless slippers are the #1 balance destroyer for people over 65. Yet they're also the most common choice for indoor wear. Here's why they're so dangerous. When you wear backless footwear, your toes automatically curl and grip with every single step to keep the shoe from flying off. This constant gripping motion does 3 terrible things to your balance. First, it forces you to shuffle rather than take normal heel-to-toe steps. That shuffle eliminates the natural rolling motion your foot needs for stable walking, and it keeps your centre of gravity constantly shifting. Second, the toe gripping creates muscle fatigue in your feet within just 20 to 30 minutes of wear. Once those muscles tire, your entire lower leg compensation system fails and your ankles become wobbly. Third, and most critically, backless shoes provide zero heel counter support. That's the firm structure around your heel that keeps your foot centered and stable. Without it, your heel slides side to side with every step, creating micro-instabilities that your aging proprioceptive system struggles to correct quickly enough. Studies from the American Podiatric Medical Association show that backless footwear increases fall risk by 43% in adults over 65. The tragedy is that most people choose these shoes specifically for convenience and comfort. They're easy to slip on for a quick trip to the mailbox or when shuffling around the kitchen. But that convenience comes with a devastating price. Your brain has to work 3 times harder to maintain balance in backless shoes. And when you're distracted by cooking, reaching for something, or simply thinking about something else, that's when the fall happens. The bathroom is especially dangerous. Stepping out of the shower into backless slippers on tile flooring is a setup for disaster. If you currently wear backless shoes or slippers as your go-to indoor footwear, you're essentially training your body to have poor balance mechanics every single day. Footwear. Mistake number 2. Worn-out shoes with smooth soles. That comfortable pair of sneakers or walking shoes you've had for 3 years might feel broken in and perfect. But look at the bottom right now. If the tread is worn smooth, you're walking on a fall waiting to happen. Tread wear is insidious because it happens so gradually that you don't notice the declining grip until you actually slip. Here's the critical issue. After 65, your stride pattern changes. You naturally take shorter steps and your foot clearance drops, meaning you're not lifting your feet as high off the ground. This makes you far more dependent on traction to prevent slips, especially on smooth surfaces like tile, linoleum, hardwood or wet pavement. When your shoe sole is worn smooth, it's like walking on ice skates across any slightly slick surface. The rubber compound also hardens over time, losing its grip properties even if the tread pattern still looks somewhat intact. Most people keep shoes far longer than they should because they still look fine on top and feel comfortable. But comfort and safety are 2 completely different things. Podiatrists recommend replacing walking shoes every 300 to 500 miles or every 6 months, whichever comes first, specifically because of tread degradation. For seniors, this timeline should be even shorter because the consequences of a slip are so much more severe. A smooth sole means you have no margin for error on wet leaves, spilled water, or freshly mopped floors. Your foot will slide before your brain can even register what's happening. The other hidden danger is uneven wear. One side of your sole might be more worn than the other, creating an imbalanced platform that tilts your foot with every step. This forces your ankles and knees to compensate constantly, leading to fatigue and increasing fall risk as the day goes on. Check your most worn shoes right now. If you can't clearly see distinct tread patterns and grooves, those shoes have become a liability. Footwear. Mistake number 3. Shoes with thick, cushioned soles. This one surprises people because thick cushioning seems like it should be protective and comfortable. The marketing certainly suggests that more cushioning equals more safety. But for seniors, the opposite is true. Thick, squishy soles dramatically increase fall risk by disrupting your connection to the ground. Here's the science. Those ultra-cushioned running shoes and comfort shoes with thick foam soles create what's called proprioceptive interference. Your feet contain thousands of mechanoreceptors, specialized nerve endings that detect pressure, texture, and position. These receptors send constant feedback to your brain about the surface you're standing on, allowing you to make micro-adjustments to maintain balance. When you place a thick layer of soft foam between your foot and the ground, you're essentially muffling that critical feedback signal. It's like trying to feel the texture of fabric while wearing thick winter gloves. The information just doesn't get through clearly. After 65, when your proprioceptive system is already declining, adding this extra interference is extremely dangerous. The thick sole also creates an unstable platform, especially if the cushioning is soft. Every time you shift your weight, the foam compresses unevenly, creating a tiny wobble that your body must correct. Young people can handle this easily because their reaction times are fast. But when your corrective responses are delayed by age, these micro-wobbles accumulate into actual instability. Research from biomechanics labs shows that seniors walking in thick-soled shoes have 34% more lateral sway than those in thinner-soled footwear. That sway is your body constantly fighting to stay centered on an unstable base. The irony is painful. You buy expensive cushioned shoes thinking you're protecting your joints and preventing falls, but you're actually creating the exact conditions that lead to falling. Loose-fitting shoes might feel comfortable when you first put them on, but they're creating a dangerous gap between your foot and the shoe with every single step. This gap forces your entire lower body into compensation mode that exhausts your stabilizing muscles and destroys your natural gait pattern. When shoes are too loose, your foot slides forward with each step, jamming your toes into the front of the shoe. This makes you instinctively tense your toes and curl them to prevent that sliding sensation. That tension travels up through your foot into your calf muscles, making them work overtime to stabilize what the shoe should be doing automatically. Within an hour of wearing loose shoes, your calves and feet are fatigued, and that's when balance failures happen. The heel slippage is even more problematic. When your heel lifts out of the shoe with each step, you lose the firm platform your body needs for the push-off phase of walking. Your stride becomes tentative and shortened because your brain knows, even if you don't consciously realize it, that the shoe isn't secure. This tentative walking actually increases fall risk because you're never fully committed to your weight transfer. Your body gets stuck in a constant state of partial balance, never achieving the stable, confident stride pattern that keeps you safe. Loose shoes also allow your foot to roll inward or outward inside the shoe, stressing your ankle joint in ways it wasn't designed to handle. Over time, this creates ankle weakness and instability even when you're not wearing those shoes. Many seniors wear loose shoes because their feet swell during the day, or because tying shoes has become difficult due to arthritis. But the solution isn't looser shoes. It's properly fitted shoes with alternative closure systems like Velcro straps or elastic laces that maintain security without requiring fine motor dexterity. Footwear. Mistake. 5. Heeled shoes of any height. You might think this only applies to high heels, but even modest heels of 1 to 2 inches significantly compromise balance after 65. Any elevation of your heel above your forefoot fundamentally changes your body's alignment and shifts your center of gravity forward. When you're younger, your core strength and quick reflexes easily compensate for this shift. After 65, that compensation system is weakened and heels become genuinely hazardous. Here's what happens biomechanically. A heeled shoe tilts your pelvis forward, which forces your lower back to arch more to keep you upright. This creates a chain reaction up your spine. Your upper back rounds to compensate and your head shifts forward. Now your center of gravity is several inches ahead of where it should be, and you're in a constant state of almost falling forward. Your calves and feet must work continuously just to prevent that forward fall. This is exhausting for aging muscles and dramatically reduces your ability to recover if you encounter an unexpected obstacle or slippery surface. The altered ankle angle is equally problematic. Heels force your ankle into a plant R-flex position, toes pointed downward, which shortens your calf muscles and limits your ankle's range of motion. After 65, your ankle flexibility is already reduced, and heels restrict it even further. This means you have almost no ability to adjust your foot position quickly if you step on something uneven. Women who have worn heels their entire lives often believe they're safe because they're so accustomed to them, but decades of adaptation don't override the reality of age-related balance decline. The risk-to-benefit ratio has completely shifted, and continuing to wear heels after 65 is choosing style over safety in a way that could cost you your independence. Footwear. Mistake number 6. Shoes with inadequate arch support. Flat shoes with no arch support might seem harmless, but they create a cascading balance problem that starts in your feet and travels all the way up to your head. Your foot's arch is not just for shock absorption. It's a critical structural component that maintains proper alignment of your entire lower body. After 65, the ligaments and tendons that support your arch naturally weaken, causing your arch to drop or flatten more than it did when you were younger. When you wear shoes with no arch support, you're allowing that arch to collapse completely with every step, and this creates multiple stability problems simultaneously. A collapsed arch causes your ankle to roll inward, a movement called pronation, which misaligns your knee and hip joints above it. Your body now has to work much harder to keep you upright because your skeletal structure is out of proper alignment. It's like trying to balance on a foundation that's tilted, possible, but exhausting and unstable. The muscles on the inside of your lower leg, particularly your posterior tibial muscle, must contract constantly to try to support what your arch and shoe should be doing automatically. These muscles fatigue quickly, especially in aging bodies, and when they give out, your ankle stability collapses and falls become likely. Arch support also affects how force travels up through your body with each step. Proper arch support distributes impact forces evenly across your foot. Without it, force concentrates in all the wrong places: your heel, the ball of your foot, and particularly your ankle joint, causing pain and instability. Many people avoid arch support because they find it uncomfortable at first, not realizing that this discomfort is simply their feet adjusting to proper alignment after years of poor support. For seniors, arch support isn't optional. It's a fundamental requirement for maintaining the kinetic chain alignment that keeps you balanced and stable. Footwear. Mistake number 7. Heavy, clunky shoes. Weight matters more than you think when it comes to footwear and balance after 65. Heavy boots, thick-soled winter shoes, or substantial work-style footwear might feel sturdy and protective, but they're actually sabotaging your balance by exhausting the muscles that control your gait. Every time you take a step, your hip flexors and shin muscles must lift the weight of your shoe off the ground and swing it forward. When shoes are heavy, these muscles work significantly harder with each of the approximately 5,000 to 7,000 steps you take in a day. For younger people, this extra work is manageable. For seniors whose muscle mass and strength have naturally declined, heavy shoes create rapid fatigue that directly translates to balance problems and fall risk. Muscle fatigue affects balance in a specific, measurable way. Studies show that when leg muscles are fatigued, proprioceptive accuracy drops by up to 50%, and reaction time to balance disturbances slows by 30% or more. This means that heavy shoes don't just tire you out, they actively degrade your body's ability to catch you when you stumble. The problem worsens as the day progresses. You might be fine in heavy shoes for the first hour or two, but by afternoon, when fatigue sets in, your stride becomes shuffled, your foot clearance drops even lower, and your ability to recover from a trip or slip is severely compromised. Heavy shoes also reduce your walking speed, and slower walking is actually associated with higher fall risk in seniors because it indicates reduced leg strength and confidence. There's a sweet spot for shoe weight, light enough that your muscles don't fatigue, but substantial enough to provide necessary support and protection. Shoes under 12 ounces per shoe are ideal for most seniors, though individual needs vary based on strength and activity level. Safe swap number 1. Lightweight athletic shoes with secure closures. The first safe swap addresses multiple balance threats simultaneously. Lightweight athletic shoes with secure lacing or Velcro closure systems. Look for shoes that weigh under 12 ounces and feature either traditional laces, Velcro straps, or BOA closure systems that create a snug, customized fit around your entire foot. The key features that make these shoes protective are specific and measurable. First, they must have a firm heel counter. That's the stiff cup around your heel that prevents side-to-side slipping. Press on the back of the shoe with your thumb. It should resist and not collapse easily. Second, look for a wide toe box that allows your toes to spread naturally without cramping, giving you a stable base of support. Third, the sole should be flexible at the ball of the foot, but firm through the arch and heel. Test this by trying to bend the shoe. It should flex where your toes bend, but remain rigid through the middle. These shoes provide the ground contact your proprioceptive system needs while offering security that prevents the dangerous foot sliding that happens with loose or backless footwear. Brands specifically designed for senior stability often include features like extra depth to accommodate orthotics and slightly wider bases for improved balance platform. Safe swap number 2. Low-profile walking shoes with moderate arch support. The second safe swap focuses on sole thickness and arch support. Low-profile walking shoes with moderate firm arch support and thin, grippy soles. The sole should be no more than 1 inch thick at the heel, and the material should be firm rather than squishy. When you press on the midsole with your thumb, you should feel resistance, not soft compression. This firmness is critical because it allows sensory feedback from the ground to reach your feet clearly, maintaining that crucial proprioceptive connection your aging nervous system depends on. The arch support should be built into the shoe's structure, not just a removable insert that can shift or compress. You'll know you have proper arch support when you feel gentle, firm pressure along the inside curve of your foot when standing. The outsole, the bottom that contacts the ground, must have deep, multi-directional tread patterns made from rubber compound that remains grippy. Test this by running your finger across the sole. It should feel slightly tacky, not hard and slick. These shoes keep your foot low to the ground for stability while providing the traction and support that prevents the slips and arch collapse that lead to falls. They're ideal for both indoor and outdoor use, offering versatility without compromising safety. Safe swap number 3, structured indoor shoes with back support. The third safe swap replaces those dangerous backless slippers with structured indoor shoes that have full back support and non-slip soles. These aren't medical-looking orthopedic shoes. Modern options look like casual sneakers or Mary Jane styles, but include critical safety features. The must-have components include a secure heel counter that cups your entire heel, preventing the shuffle walk that backless shoes force you into. They should have adjustable closures across the top of your foot. Velcro, elastic or stretchy laces work well, that allow you to customize the fit as your feet change size throughout the day due to normal swelling. The sole should be rubber with a textured grip pattern specifically rated as slip-resistant, and the entire shoe should be lightweight enough that you forget you're wearing it. What makes these shoes transformative is that they allow you to maintain proper heel-to-toe gait mechanics even when you're just moving around your home. This is crucial because most senior falls happen indoors, often in the kitchen or bathroom where you're distracted and moving quickly between tasks. These indoor shoes give you the stability and traction you need on tile, hardwood, and other smooth surfaces where regular socks or backless slippers become skating rinks. They restore your natural walking pattern and keep your stabilizing muscles engaged properly rather than forcing compensation. The 74% reduction in fall risk isn't a random number. It comes from comprehensive research conducted across multiple senior living communities, tracking footwear interventions over 18 months. When participants switched from their usual footwear to properly fitted, supportive shoes with the features we've discussed, fall incidents dropped dramatically within the first 3 months. Here's why the results are so powerful. You're not just fixing one problem, you're addressing the entire chain of balance failures simultaneously. Proper footwear restores ground contact for better proprioception, eliminates foot sliding that causes shuffling, reduces muscle fatigue that leads to instability, and provides the traction that prevents slips. Each of these improvements compounds with the others, creating exponential rather than incremental safety gains. The research also revealed something unexpected. Participants reported feeling more confident and walking more after changing their footwear. This increased activity further strengthened their leg muscles and balance systems, creating a positive feedback loop. The 74% reduction isn't just about avoiding falls. It's about reclaiming the freedom to move through your home and community without fear, maintaining independence that proper footwear literally puts back under your feet with every step you take. When you make these footwear changes, the transformation happens faster than you'd expect. Within days, you'll notice you're walking with more confidence, taking fuller steps instead of shuffling. That constant low-level anxiety about falling starts to fade as your body remembers what stable movement feels like. Your legs feel less tired at the end of the day because they're not fighting against poor footwear anymore. You stop hesitating before getting up from a chair or walking across smooth floors. The mental shift is just as powerful as the physical one. You're no longer planning your day around avoiding certain surfaces or limiting your activities because you're afraid of falling. Simple tasks like checking the mail, cooking dinner, or taking a morning walk become enjoyable again instead of calculated risks. This isn't about accepting limitations. It's about removing the unnecessary barriers that were stealing your stability. The right shoes give you back the freedom to move through your life with the security and independence you deserve. Your balance and independence are too important to leave to chance. Right now, go check the shoes you wear most often. Look at the soles, test the heel support, and honestly assess whether they're helping or hurting your stability. If any of them match the 7 dangerous mistakes we covered, it's time to make a change. This isn't about spending a fortune on specialty footwear, it's about choosing the right features that protect you. Start with one pair of safe shoes and experience the difference proper footwear makes in how you feel and move. Your family worries about you falling, and you deserve to live without that fear hanging over every step you take. If this information opened your eyes to risks you didn't know existed, hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Your parents, your neighbors, your friends, everyone over 65 needs to understand how footwear affects their safety. Together we can prevent falls before they happen and keep our loved ones independent, active and safe.